Are you one of those people who have always wanted to start their own business but did not know how to? Or you were just too scared to go down that path of riskiness without knowing which is the first step that you need to take? If you are, then this video is for you. Hello everyone and Assalamu alaikum. My name is Amna Asif and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we're going to be talking about the steps that you need to take in order to start a business in 2022. If you're new here, thank you so much for joining me. Please don't forget to hit the subscribe button down below. And if you're a returning subscriber, please don't forget to hit the like, comment button down below once you've enjoyed this video and share it with people who might benefit from it. So the first step here would be to identify the problem that you're trying to solve and who are you trying to solve it for. This has two parts. Let's cater to the problem part first, right? The problem could literally be coming from anywhere. It could be a personal experience, a family, a friend went through something, or even your pet went through something and you're trying to find a solution for your own liking, but that's not available in the market. So once you've identified the problem and you have listed down the ideas, the next thing that you're going to do is simply go on the internet and find out the current market competition and what are the offerings that are already available. Based on those offerings, what are the user reviews? What are the people saying about that particular product? Do they like it? Do they dislike it? Is this something that you think that's still missing in that product? You note all of that down and you do your research very, very thoroughly. Once you have all of that information, this will help you come up with your own unique value proposition, which is not readily available in the market. And that's what your USP would be when you're coming down to launch your product. And that could make or break your business essentially, right? Now, the second part of this statement was to identify who you are trying to solve this problem for. This is also a very, very important step because you need to know the nitty-gritties of who your ideal customer is. The surface level research is not enough here where you just know what the total available market is, what your SAM and SOM is. These are all marketing jargons where you're trying to identify what the market is like. You need to have all of that information as well. So find out what your total available market is, what is your serviceable available market, and what is your obtainable market. Once you have all of that, you also really need to go down and find out who your ideal customer is. That one customer that you can envision, okay, this is this person that will purchase my product. Now, there you can come up with a complete customer profile over here where you can name that ideal customer, their age, their gender, their marital status, education, income, household, likes, dislikes, hobbies, physical activities, personal preferences, their retail preferences, everything. It can be noted down over here. So once you have all of that research, it will give you a clearer idea of who are you trying to solve this problem for. And it will also help you in creating the solution and to price it. Now that you have your problem sorted and your ideal customer sorted, you know what that looks like. Now we'll come down to the solution part. The solution part, okay, one thing I really want to make sure here, it has to be a paid offer. People tend to not value things that come for free. That is just consumer behavior and consumer psychology, that if we get something for free, we don't tend to value it. However, if there's a price attached to it, even if it's $, it's 100 rupees, we will still value it because we paid for it, right? So please make sure that your solution is a paid offer. You can start with a freemium model where you're offering your services or your product for free for user reviews or testimonials in the starters, but it cannot be free forever. That's very important. The solution will come relatively easier because you already have done your research. Now, the third thing here would be to validate what your offer is. It's very important, and a lot of people make this mistake when they're jumping in. If you have investment, if you don't have investment, either way, it's extremely important to run a beta stage for your particular product and actually see whether the offering that you've created adds any value to the user or it does not add any value, right? There are different ways to do it. It depends if you're doing a product business or a service business, but let's just take an example of a service business. You've created an app and you want to see what the reaction is and how would users take it, right? So The ideal customer research that you did it before, you're going to create a focus group of those people. It could be 10, it could be 20, it could be 100, based on your capacity and the resources that you have available at hand. And then you're going to give your app to them to use. Right? It's extremely important to validate your idea on beta stage, because you do not want to be spending thousands of dollars on marketing once you are launching your product and then seeing it fail because of the issues that could have been catered if you ran a beta stage. So once you've validated your offer, the next step here would be to build an audience. Now, the day and age that we're living in, building an audience is not that difficult, right? But there are a few things that you need to keep in mind before you start going on that path. Ideally, it's better that you start building the audience from the beginning, because the organic reach takes time, right? So even if you haven't done that, now is still a good time to do it. So once you're building your audience, you need to keep three things in mind. The first is that you need to identify which platform is going to be the best one for you. If you try to divide your time and your energy on 6 different platforms just to stay relevant, it will just exhaust you, because every platform has a different content strategy, and you cannot be copy pasting what you're posting on Facebook, on Instagram, on LinkedIn. It has to be a bit different. The concept can be the same, but the ideology and the content that's going on there has to be different. So based on the service, product, whatever your business is offering, based on that, you need to identify the best platform for your service or your product. Once you've identified that, try to build an audience over there, come up with a good content strategy, and identify what pillars that you want to use in that, and identify with your content what is the message that you're trying to give, right? Make sure that you're not just trying to sell your product, because now it sounds very gimmicky. If you're just selling, if you're just posting about the product, you need to add value. Value is extremely important when you're trying to sell a business. You don't need to sell the features of your product or your service, but what is the benefit that the features will offer through the product? You need to mention that, and you need to sell that to your audience. Now, your problem is there. You know who your ideal customer is. You've created a paid offer. You've validated it. You've built an audience. And now comes the part that we've all been waiting for, is to launch that product and market it. This is extremely important. Once you have done all of the research, you already have so much information and so much data to work with, that this will not feel as much of a task as it would without all of that information. So market it to the right audience, spend as much money as you can afford to do it. Don't go overboard. Know your finances, because when you're running a business, finances tend to run out very, very quickly. So you need to budget yourself. You need to know what your burn rate is, and you need to understand what is it that you can spend on a monthly basis on your marketing, and what will be your customer acquisition cost. Based on that, once you have that data, you can then continue to pay for marketing in the future as well. But knowing all of these metrics is extremely important. These are the things that you need to launch a business in 2022. But one thing that is extremely important that you need to keep in mind is the mindset that you go in with when you're starting a business. Always be ready for failure. We always anticipate, and it's a good thing to anticipate success, but you also need to have some realization of the realistic things, that even after all the efforts that you put in, the business can fail, right? So you need to keep that in mind, and you need to go in with that mindset that if it fails, that's fine. I will be learning something from it. It will be an experience for me. And once I've gained that experience, I can definitely use that into the new idea, or even to improve the one that I have and make it much bigger. So with all of these steps, you're now ready to start a business in 2022. Honestly, don't think about being perfect. Don't get scared by the process. It will always be a learning process. All you need to do right now is just start. right? And I know I used a lot of jargons, but I wanted to keep the video as to the point as possible and give you as much information as I can. But if you feel that I used a lot of jargons and you need more explanation on that, then please leave down a comment below that this is something that you didn't understand, and I can definitely make a video on that and explain it to you. I hope you guys have a great weekend or weekday whenever you're watching it, and I hope to see many more startups and many more businesses emerging in 2022. Have a great day, everyone. Take care. Bye.